Asante. This is News 360 from the News Hub here in Accra. I am Isamoni.
And I am Portia Gabo. Coming up, the headlines.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by Deluxipade, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Spray,
Calipo, and Nido Fortigro. Your love, their future.
Food and Drugs Authority (FDA) describes as false claims there are artificial fish made from foam and plastic on the Ghanaian market.
And also coming up tonight, Cocoa Board appeals to chiefs and landowners to make farmlands easily accessible for the youth who desire to go into cocoa farming.
In Mission tonight, road linking Kalio Takpo and Sankana awarded on contract some 4 months after Mission's advocacy.
In international news, thousands of French yellow vest protest for 5th Saturday against Emmanuel Macron's government. We have details coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
And beginning our news tonight, the Andani royal family in Dagban says they will not perform the funeral rites of the late Yana Abdullahi Yakubu Andani at a press conference in Tamale led by some sub-chiefs in Dagban. The Andanis reveal the funeral rites of the late Yana will only be performed under due tradition and customs. Here's a report by Zubaida Ismail.
The Asante-led Committee of Eminent Chiefs on November 21, 2018 presented what it termed the final roadmap to peace in Dagban. The roadmap, among other things, outlined dates for the performance of the 2 final funeral rites for the late chiefs. The roadmap, as announced by Otumfo at the Jubilee House, permitted the Abudu's entry to the Old Bewa Palace to perform the funeral rites of the former Boling Lana Muhammadu Abdullahi as a Yana between December 14 and December 28, 2018. It further stated that the Andanis will also have access to the same palace between January 4 and 18, 2019 to also perform the final funeral rites of the late Yana Abdullahi Yakubu Andani. However, in a twist of event, the Andanis say what is upheld as a roadmap by the Asante-led Committee of Eminent Chiefs has no binding on them.
We can say with certainty that the program the Ashanti has rolled out is a complete recipe for chaos. He and his colleagues, eminent chiefs on the mediation committee, should know very well that no village, town or kingdom can have 2 valid chiefs at the same time. Neither can there at any one time be 2 sitting regents of the same village or kingdom reigning side by side. More than 2 weeks after participating in the ceremony at the Black Star House, the purported representatives of the Andani family have dared not report back to the children, widows, and larger family of the late Yana Yakubu Andani II.
The Asante Otumfo say to the second, again urged the Andanis to present evidence of the murderers for redress in court. They also reacted to the call by the Asante to make available any evidence they may have on the murder of the late Yana. The Andanis have meanwhile urged President Akufo-Addo to respond to the letter addressed to him by the regent of Dagban, Kampaku Yana Yakubu Andani, a fortnight after the Asante presented the roadmap to him.
Away from the northern region, the Food and Drugs Authority has described as false claims that there are artificial fish made from foam and plastic on the Ghanaian market. Head of Communications at the authority, James Latte, insists tests conducted on sample of the said fishes have proven negative. He spoke to Peter Kwao Adato.
A video had gone viral on social media claiming fake fishes made from foam and plastic have entered the Ghanaian market. Commentators in the video were warning the public against the patronage of such fish. As a regulator, the Food and Drugs Authority sampled some fish which were alleged to be plastic. However, the investigations have proven otherwise. According to the FDA, the fish, which appears to be foamy or spongy, were as a result of bad storage, while the skin, which is said to be plastic-like, is because of what it termed as collagen in the skin of the fish.
With the investigations that we have done as an institution, we've not found any fish that is plastic or foamy on the market. But still, if you get any fish on the market that you have any doubt, you are suspicious, just forward it to the FDA and let's do our investigation. But so far, what we've done has not confirmed the presence of plastic fish or foamy fish on the market.
But is it scientifically possible to produce fish with plastic or foam?
I don't know any scientific evidence to produce plastic fish. But fish, when even we are boiling fish, you can boil fish in water, cook it in oil and things. And looking at the temperature, plastic cannot melt at that point. If FDA along the line will notice that there's anything of that nature, we are regulators there to ensure public health and safety. We'll just alert the general public and tell them that we found this fish. It's plastic. People should patronize it. But as of now, nothing like that has been found on the Ghanaian market.
The FDA observed that retailers of frozen animal products who operate cold rooms have adopted a practice of shutting down their freezing equipment during the day, something it suggested could be a factor in the alleged foam fish. With the Yuletide approaching, the Food and Drugs Authority is urging the public to be on the lookout for any suspicious products on the market and promptly contact their hotlines 0299 802932.
Well, still some more doubts remain on our mind about this kind of investigation. We need some more from the FDA to be convinced. You're watching News 360, and some members of Ghana Road Transport Union, GPRTU, have threatened to hit the streets if the police and Accra Metropolitan Assembly fails to stop floating drivers from loading on the street. The group, during a media briefing at the Tema station here in Accra, also accused the police of aiding and abetting the lawless behavior, a claim the police has denied. It's a report by Peter Kwadato.
Regulation 11, Clause 2 of the Road Traffic Regulation bars drivers from parking their motor vehicles on a road abreast of another motor vehicle. However, some commercial drivers, especially those who have declined to join the various driver unions, continue to flout this regulation. These recalcitrant drivers park and load at the bus stops all day. The activities continue to deprive law-abiding drivers who operate from designated lorry parks and pay levies to the state on daily basis. Unfortunately, city authorities and the police appear to be doing very little to arrest the challenge, which is almost a major cause of traffic congestion in the cities. And the various branch executives of the GPRTU say they can no longer cope with the pain.
Somebody came here from this 5 o'clock this morning, but still he hasn't got it to his stand. So we want to alert the authorities to know our grievances.
You come to this station, this place is very congested. We can't imagine this thing, so we are going to advise ourselves.
Chairman of the aggrieved branch executives, Isaac Ahuma Kubi, also accused the police of aiding and abetting.
Some of the police, if you go to Mokola now, you will see them loading cars, collecting money from them. Somebody is on night duty. He will put on his uniform, come there, load the cars and collect money from them. So we are pleading with the authorities to do what they can to help us.
But Commander of the Central Police Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, ACP Anderson Ofosuaka, denied they have not been doing anything to arrest the situation.
We have a day patrol that starts around 5:30 a.m. Then we have another team that also go around between 8 and 4 p.m. We have been arresting people, prosecuting them, and my assurance is that we are going to reactivate our night patrols. We used to have night patrols that also operate between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m.
ACP Anderson Ofosuaka however, urged the driver unions to assist them clamp down on the lawless drivers.
In other news, the Commissioner of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Joseph Whittle, has called on Ghanaians to exercise restraint in judging the special prosecutor. Speaking in an exclusive interview with TV3, he noted institution building is not easy, saying with time the work of the special prosecutor will be seen.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor was established after Parliament passed the Office of Special Prosecutor Bill in 2017. The office serves as an independent investigating and prosecution body to make inquiries into corruption, bribery, or other criminal cases at the national level, whether in public or private sector. Some are of the view the office is irrelevant in view of the fact that constitutionally established institutions like SRAJ and YOCO have the mandates to combat corruption. Commissioner of the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Joseph Whittle, however, disagrees, saying Ghanaians should hold judgment on the office.
The Attorney General's outfit that should be doing the prosecutions, generally speaking, is completely inundated with all criminal prosecutions. Institution building is not easy. 2017 the law was passed. It is supposed to be budget ridden. 2018 is the first year that they could even have had a budget.
The Finance Minister announced in the 2018 budget statement presented to Parliament that government, in its commitment to the fight against corruption, has allocated 180 million Ghana cedis to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. When asked if he feels the Office of the Special Prosecutor conflicts with his office, Joseph Whittle stressed the two offices have different mandates.
We have procurement-based corruption, which is seen as one of the most serious and incipient weaknesses of our public financial management system. If you give 180 million to a new office, you wouldn't be looking at the old offices like SRAJ that you have conveniently ignored over time. If we were to get that amount of seed money, I am sure you'd see a different SRAJ.
The Commissioner further expressed disappointment key government institutions like SRAJ continue to be funded mainly by development partners such as DANIDA. In 2019, DANIDA's supports to Ghana will shift to a more trade-driven one, leaving it less able to support institutions like SRAJ.
And in other news, Minister of Lands and Forestry under the erstwhile NDC administration, Yunusa Hussein, is calling on all stakeholders to support government in fighting against illegal mining as it poses a serious threat to the environment. He spoke on key points.
Government on Friday announced the lifting of the ban on all forms of small-scale mining effective Monday, 17th December 2018, after nearly 20 months. The announcement on the lifting of the ban follows the successful vetting of 1,350 small-scale miners, out of which over 900 have now been given licenses to operate. According to Chairman of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Professor Frimpong Boateng, the committee has been able to successfully implement all the strategies to curb illegal mining prior to lifting the ban. A former Minister of Lands and Forestry under the actual NDC administration, Yunusa Hussein, called for support to ensure the protection of the environment from illegal mining activities.
How many people in the mining communities are born with deformities which can be associated to the use of mercury? Because you go there and you find that miners use mercury with impunity. In fact, as a minister, I can tell you that sometimes you go and see empty containers. I mean, mercury containers lying about. The danger is that when mercury enters the river bodies, doesn't matter where you are,
it will reach you.
It will reach you. It can reach you through the fish that you consume from the river body. And even the areas where they mine, the mercury can get into the oranges that we drink, or the cyanide, the oranges that we drink. Okay, so that is why we must support government. And I have said that fighting small-scale mining is not a political issue.
Secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bishu, noted that fighting illegal mining does not mean sitting in Accra, but charging all district committees to be up and doing.
It is the monitoring which is important. So I believe that if we set
so the
up
monitoring has been improved, is that it?
Yes, because you see, it's at the district level, regional level, and the national level. For example, the drones. We have some at the district level, the national level, and the regional level, and the national level. And whatever happens at the district level, you do not actually plan your schedule for the day. It is planned for you here. And whilst you're doing that, we have a flight hub which monitors your movement. The Galam Stop also has a tracker on it. So when you go outside outside the confines that what you're directed to, that also triggers that you're not actually doing the right thing.
Government says it trained 3,000 artisanal small-scale miners on ethical mining to enable the ban on illegal mining to be lifted.
Private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu says there is the possibility of a different government changing the proposed public holidays bill laid before Parliament by the Interior Minister. Meanwhile, a former Minister of Lands and Forestry, Inu Safusenu, sees the proposal as irrelevant and out of place. They spoke on the key points.
Simply, the president is exercising his powers, okay? Yes, the powers as given to him by Act 601, and also by extension, that's a mandate the people gave him, okay? So to that extent, it's difficult. But you see, the Constitution also says the power is exercised for the welfare of the people and in the name of the people. Mm-hmm. So the 4th August, to be candid, is quite a difficult one, knowing that some other parties have issues with it, because 4th August is the formation of the UGCC. Yeah. You see, yes. So now to have put it there is creating some problems, politically. It's creating problems. So
and given that problem you're talking about, clearly this, some would say, well, it's for as long as you remain in office.
Exactly.
It would only take a change in government for this to be reversed as well.
And I mean, and it's quite certain that definitely we can't have one party stay in power forever. One day, they definitely will go. So, you know, that's the same thing that happened to this SHS. You know, when President Kufuor came, he changed it to 4 years. Apparently, the students did better. But when NDC came, they reversed it to 3 years.
Nana Adedankwa Akufo-Addo is engaged in grandstanding, political grandstanding. And it appears to me that what he has done is an exercise in self-aggrandizement. Why this unholy haste in resurrecting and rehabilitating your ancestors? I don't understand it. In the city itself, the money, the local currency, the legal tender of this country has already done that for you.
Now, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture says it has been vindicated after it was forced to abandon a closed season for fishing this year. Chief Director of the Ministry, Professor Francis Nunu, explained the unprecedented low catch recorded during the August and September period is indicative of the gradual depletion in fish stock. Here's a report by Miriam Osei Ajimai.
In June this year, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development announced a closed season to take effect in August to all forms of fishing activities. The intervention was intended to address the depleting fish stock in Ghanaian marine waters. The decision was met with strong agitation from stakeholders, forcing government to postpone the ban to 2019. 5 months on, checks at Elmina, Shamar, Keta, Prom, Choko, Tama, Sakumono and Jamestown, according to the ministry, indicates that this year's catch is the lowest in decades.
In the 80s and 90s, our fathers were able to make bumper catch with hook and line, but now the fishes are swimming away from this area, and it is impacting on our livelihood.
Previously, August is a season for bumper catch, but the situation has changed. We are gradually losing our jobs.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture, Professor Francis K. Nunu, said the testimonies justify the proposed close season.
We have really experienced the effect of a dwindled stock. The catch this year has not been as expected for all the sectors. So we've had numerous complaints from the fishers. So overall, productivity in the sector is gone low, and we've had to offset it with imports and all. Earlier on, their main concern was the short time between the announcement and the implementation. We announced in May, June, and then we wanted it in August. They thought the time difference was very short. Yeah, so they were not prepared, and some said they had gone to take loans, etc. Now we are going to announce it very early, and in fact we've told their leaders even in December.
He called on traditional leaders and other stakeholders to ensure that the ban is enforced next year.
The Ghana Cocoa Board has appealed to chiefs and landowners to make farmlands easily accessible for the youth who desire to go into cocoa farming. Acting Deputy Director in charge of Cocoa Health Extension Division, Dr. Nee Takiotu, believes this will encourage more young people to take up cocoa farming from the aged farmers. A report by Ibrahim Abubakar.
An estimated 800,000 households are engaged in cocoa production across the country. The aged, however, constitute about 70%, with an average age of 55 years. The aged cocoa farmers are said to be a threat to the sustainability of the cocoa production and job security for majority of Ghanaians, whose livelihoods depend on the cocoa supply chain. Acting Deputy Director in charge of Cocoa Health Extension Division, Dr. Nee Takiotu, says Cocoa Board is instituting incentive packages to entice the youth into cocoa production.
We are grouping the youth to take over from them. And we have so many packages for them. We give them free extension services. We give them ammonia, free seedlings, free tree seedlings. But our small challenge here is that the youth don't have access to land. So we have been appealing all these years to chiefs and landlords to release farmlands to their youth.
Dr. Takiotu was speaking at the second Cocoa Farmers Dialogue organized by the Ghana Agricultural and Rural Development Journalists Association at Seshi Enyinebrim. The dialogue brought together journalists, farmers, civil society groups, government officials and agricultural experts to discuss and proffer solutions to challenges facing the cocoa sector. President of the Ghana Agricultural and Rural Development Journalists Association, Richmond Frimpong, says the trend of leaving cocoa production for the aged population is worrying.
The next 10, 20 years to come, those who are actively engaged in the cocoa sector may fade out or may fade off. So when they are no more in existence, what is going to be the effects on Ghana cocoa performance at the world markets?
Some farmers complain about the high cost of fertilizers. Cocoa Board is introducing a number of interventions to attract the youth into cocoa farming to meet the 1 million metric ton production target.
And the Vice President has called on private tertiary institutions to roll out more entrepreneurship programs to assist students create their own jobs. Dr. Mahmudu Baumia is confident entrepreneurship programs will inculcate integrity and sincerity devoid of greed among students. He was speaking at the 10th congregation of the Pentecost University in Accra.
In all, 827 students graduated, out of which 665 are undergraduate. 51 graduates, 111 received certificates and diploma. They pursued programs in nursing, actuarial science, quantity surveying, and construction economics. Others undertook courses in information technology, theology, accounting, and corporate and business development. Speaking on the theme, Ghana Beyond Aid, the role of tertiary education, Vice President Dr. Muhammadu Baumia underscored entrepreneurship as key to Ghana Beyond Aid.
As government, we have also started entrepreneurship clubs
in all high schools. This is what we are doing. We've got to start it from the high school level so that you build up coming to the university. Let's start thinking that when you finish school, it's not government that has to provide you a job. You can figure out a way of starting a business and doing that.
He again emphasized on strong values such as integrity and sincerity to promote growth of the economy.
You're going to serve humanity. But when we look around, we see greed, we see ostentation, competitive richness, and so much on display. We need to be able to say to ourselves, this is not the way to build a Ghana beyond aid.
Chancellor of the Pentecost University, Apostle Eric Kwabranja-Miche, pledged to partner governments in areas of infrastructure to boost economic confidence. Rector of the Pentecost University, Apostle Daniel Ochre-Walker, pleaded with the government to assist private tertiary institutions to access the GET fund.
We plead that private universities will also get assistance with regards to accessing the GET fund. And so that, for instance, our university can get some buses to help our nursing and physician assistantship students to attend their clinical sites without any difficulty.
Hello again, it's now time for Mission, and this program is brought to you by Star Ghana with funding from Danida, UK Aid and the EU. We first begin from the Upper West region, where efforts at improving healthcare in the Nadoli-Kalio district is yielding results. Some 4 months ago, after Mission's advocacy, the road linking Kalio, Takpo and Sankana has been awarded on contract. Bright Nana Amfo reports the 12-kilometer stretch will open up the district and make access to healthcare easier.
The district lacks good and motorable roads. This has slowed down economic activities. In fact, accessing healthcare is a challenge. The situation gets worse during the rainy season. Communities are cut off and school pupils are unable to go to school.
A greater part of communities in the district lies behind this river. Several residents are forced to cross this river before they can undertake the economic activities. Now, in the month of June and July, they simply can't do it because the river gets filled up. It is just below my knee now, but very soon it will get to a level where residents cannot cross.
School children can't go to school during the rains. This was a real setback for district authorities. Farmers are also affected. Their produce are left on the farm for days. The district assembly was unable to raise the needed funding to build roads. The only tarred road was the main road linking the district to the rest of the country.
When the rain sets in, they are very, very immoderable, and it is causing a big challenge. On the western side of the district, it's closer to the Black Volta and it's low, thereby causing us a lot of headaches when the rain starts.
Mission's interaction with district authorities saw the urgency of the need to get roads constructed. The result is the award of the 12-kilometer Kalio Takpo Sankana road. The road will be tarred and will indeed see residents heave a sigh of relief.
It's a 2-year project, honestly. And what we have achieved so far, I think, will beat the time limit for the whole contract. We're expecting to finish maybe next year by July. I think we should be handing over.
Businesses that hitherto faced challenges are now happy.
Even now that they've started even filling the potholes, market has started moving onward. And it's of the conviction that if the road is tight, some people sometimes want to pass this road, but because it is not good, they are unable to pass the road.
For the people of Sankana, they have for years endured hardship on the road in accessing healthcare. This is therefore a relief. The district, which once boasted of only a single tarred road, is now poised to improve development through opening up roads.
Right now, you can see that it is very much travel, if even it stops at this point. But I think the users of the road are very grateful for how far it has come, because it's aiding, it's reducing the travel time, like I said. If there are emergencies, they get to their hospital very early.
With several kilometers of roads, its improvement is the key to developing the Nadoli-Kalio district. Bright Nananfo, TV3.
And the lives of preterm babies in the Nadoli-Kalio district of the Upper West region were at risk. Several of them who were referred to other centers because of the lack of a neonatal intensive care unit, NICU, ended up dying because their mothers refused to send them due to the poor transport system. Bright Nananfo reports the situation has changed with the handing over of a new NICU center to the Nadoli District Hospital.
Many will not see the second week of their lives. Being born in the district is a tragedy if you were a preterm baby. The Nadoli-Kalio District Hospital serves many from other adjoining districts. The facility has no neonatal care unit.
Looking at the whole district, the two districts, that the Fema-Busa Ise district and then the Nadoli district, we don't have the NICU project. It has been really, really difficult because we've been losing them. Some of them, because of where they are coming from, if they come, you have to refer them all the way to Wa. Transportation issues, ambulance issues, so they end up going back home. They don't even send the babies there, and they end up losing all the babies.
Health workers were helpless in saving these babies. The best is to refer to the Wa Municipal Hospital. That's about an hour's drive.
Coupled with the nature of our roads and the wide nature of the district, whether some of them would have made it here alive.
Many mothers simply give up. Either they have no money for transportation or the poor transport system gave them less hope. The mission team in early 2018 sought audience with the Assembly. The promise was to construct a neonatal and intensive care unit. Funding was a challenge, but the Assembly was committed to saving lives.
It wasn't in our annual budgets, but thankfully the Assembly members saw what I saw and they agreed that we should allocate some money to put up the structure.
Construction started and contractors were asked to work fast. The lives of these babies were at stake, and they did. Within 4 months, the project was near completion. Several visits by district authorities encouraged workers to speed up the project. Today, these babies can be saved. With the support of UNICEF, Kokroko Foundation, and several others, the neonatal care intensive unit is functional. Health workers are excited these babies will live to see their birthdays.
And we have seen so many children over a short period. I mean, that goes to say that without these facilities, all these women and then their babies were going to be referred to travel over long journeys to other places that they could access this care. So when you have a facility like this, you know, all of that burden, including the burden of the sickness of the young one, is taken care of.
And who more is excited? The District Assembly says it is poised to save lives.
As a mother and as a woman, I think that if even this is the only thing I would have done for my people, I'm very glad that it has come true.
With over 250 million preterm babies dying in the world every year, the Nadoli-Kalio district is poised at reducing the number who are unable to live in the district. The partnership with health authorities, civil society, and the media has achieved greater results. The Assembly says this will continue until every preterm baby is saved. Bright Nananfo, TV3.
And mission indeed gets results. Thanks so much for watching. This program was brought to you by Star Ghana with funding from Danida, UK Aid and the EU. We have more news coming up shortly. Do stay with us. Tonight on Entertainment News, Ghanaian-based actress Princess Shingle has broken her silence after news of her alleged suicide attempt. In a post on social media, the actress did say that she stated the reason she was in hospital, and she said it was as a result of a nervous breakdown.
I'm very sorry, madam. I was in the confines of my cubicle, engrossed in the consumption of my belated breakfast.
If you don't know how to speak straight English, just shut up!
My profound apologies, madam. But what I'm
to tell you how it's going to begin.
There were reports on social media that Princess Shingle has been rushed to a hospital in Lagos, Nigeria, after she took an overdose of drugs, which many believe was an attempted suicide. Well, Princess Shingle on Saturday took to Instagram to tell her side of the story. According to Princess, she was not admitted because she tried killing herself, but it was because she had a nervous breakdown. She expressed gratitude to everyone who showed her love and support over the past few days.
Let's now bring you how tilapia captured the entire news week. Right, and that's how tilapia captured the entire news of the week on NEWS360. Thank you for watching. I am Mr. Moni.
And I am Portia Gabo. Coming up is Music.